You're watching Fox Up First here on a Friday morning. I'm Todd Pyro.
And I'm Carly Shimkus. We start with Chanley Painter, who has been in Utah all week covering the Tyler Robinson hearing. And she's here with what happened in court yesterday. Hi, Chanley.
Hey, good morning, Carly and Todd. So in a 22-minute recorded interview that was played inside the courtroom, Lance Twiggs, the former roommate, romantic partner of Tyler Robinson, described how he confessed to the killing of Charlie Kirk at least 3 times. First, in a handwritten note left the morning of the shooting at their apartment, prosecutors say Robinson wrote, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I took it." In text messages to Twiggs, Robinson said he targeted Kirk because he, quote, had enough of his hatred. And on the day after the shooting in their apartment, Twiggs said Robinson was going to turn himself in. Watch.
So he acted erratically. Was he pacing? Was he just sitting down, relaxing?
No, he was walking around a lot.
And that's within the home? Mm-hmm. And did he talk about what he had done?
Didn't go into detail. I just asked him in person if what he said was true the night before, and he said it was. I started crying a little bit and said he wishes he hadn't done it, and then kept going around and just doing stuff, I think, to keep himself busy or distracted or something.
Twiggs, who was given immunity for his statements, went on to reveal that weeks before the shooting, Robinson asked him for a tool to engrave bullets. Turns out at the crime scene, 4 bullets were found with engravings, one reading, "Hey fascist, catch." And then a 5th bullet was found with the same type of engraving on the same type of ammunition as was at the crime scene in Robinson's apartment. Twiggs also told prosecutors Robinson claimed to have been planning the details of the assassination for over a week. And when asked Robinson if Robinson ever mentioned Charlie Kirk to him, this is what he said. Watch.
Did you and he ever talk about politics?
He did more than me. I don't really keep up with politics very much.
Did he ever talk about Charlie Kirk?
I personally had never heard him talk about Charlie Kirk before specifically. Usually if he did talk about politics stuff, it was relating to Trump or current policies being issued or voted on.
Prosecutors also showed that before turning himself in, Robinson posted in a chat room on Discord, quote, "It was me at UVU yesterday," a moment that drew emotion from his mother in the gallery, according to those inside. Our Fox News digital reporter noted that at times throughout Twiggs's interview, Erika Kirk sobbed audibly in the row behind him, Charlie's mother embracing her throughout this day yesterday, as they have been all week inside the courtroom. All of those parties are expected back inside this courthouse today for the final day of this preliminary hearing. We expect to hear one more witness from Robinson's defense, an ATF officer who, again, they're trying to poke holes in the reliability of the ballistic test. But the judge will not issue a ruling today. That won't come until September, guys.
Okay, Chanley, let's pick it up there. Like you said, the preliminary hearing is supposed to end today. The judge said we're done at 5 p.m. Do you think he sticks with that? Do you think you guys there in Utah are done at the end of today?
This preliminary hearing, Todd, I know you're an attorney as well. It has moved at a snail's pace. This was almost like a trial, not a preliminary hearing with the low probable cause standard. So, yes, the parties convened yesterday afternoon before court ended. They said they have one more witness. To the defense claims, Todd, that it is going to end with that witness by lunchtime. And then they deferred the arguments over this probable cause hearing to be briefed. So we won't hear those. Those will be briefed. They'll come back September 1st to have those arguments and possibly the judge make a decision on September 1st, Todd.
And Chanley, one of the things that stood out to me was that Lance Twiggs says that the day after the text message exchange and the day after Charlie Kirk was killed, he asked Tyler Robinson in person, "Is everything you said yesterday true?" And he said yes. So that's an in-person confession. There was a text message confession, a confession over Discord, and then he turned himself in. So that's a whole lot of confessions tying himself to this crime using his own words. Do you think that this will go to trial, or could there be the possibility that they ask for a plea deal from the prosecution?
I think that is what the defense is working towards, much like we saw in the Brian Kohberger case in Idaho, right? The defense here is trying to save their client's life from the death penalty. Here, what's the motivation for prosecutors to do that when they have such an overwhelming case against Tyler Robinson? You mentioned those confessions, Carly, alleged confessions that we've seen in court. We've seen them on the screen. We heard Twiggs testify to those in-person confessions. Also, don't forget that he also confessed, and this is before the judge, to the family friend who was a deputy, a sheriff's deputy that facilitated him turning himself in. He confessed to him also, according to court documents, about where he, or that he disposed of the clothes that he was wearing at the time that he allegedly shot Charlie Kirk. So almost 5 confessions, in addition to all the other evidence, the ballistics, the DNA evidence tying him to the scene, as well as the surveillance video that we've been watching all week of him on campus, which Twiggs also identified him. Yes, that is Tyler Robinson. I recognize his sunglasses. I recognize those shoes in all of that surveillance video, guys.
And we're going to continue to dig deep into this evidence coming up in a little bit with James Galliano. I know he's out there with you. Great insight from both of you. Chanley, thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.